Zelete, thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all. Tuesday, May 5th, 2026, the floor of the Nigerian Senate became a battleground for a new kind of warfare, economic nationalization, and it's as a response to what is happening in South Africa after years of diplomatic concern over the persistent targeting and unaliving of Nigerians in South Africa. The Nigerian National Assembly has moved from words to weapons because they said they have had enough. It's like always they talk, they call, they do this, and what is happening to their citizens in South Africa is always happening. The latest wave of the xenophobic violence, which erupted in late April 2026 across Johannesburg and Pretoria, was the final straw. But this time, summoning ambassadors. Lawmakers are now moving to strip South African wealth in Nigeria. Please, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. This is the latest Dojin 1. Senator Adams Oshahu, representing Indu North, has laid out a radical blueprint for retaliation. His message to the Senate was blunt. If you hit me, I will hit you. It is an economic struggle. Oshoho is leading a charge to nationalize MTN Nigeria and revoke the operation license of multi-choice, that's DSTV. The logic is simple but devastating. For years, South Africa has been benefiting from the massive Nigerian market.
Taking their jobs. Okay, Nigerians, come home. I take over the job of MTN. Nigerians, come home. I take over the job of DSTV. When we hit back, the president of South Africa will not only talk, he will go on his knees to recognize that Nigerians cannot be intimidated, and we do not condone any war life being lost. If a crime has been committed under South African law, they have a right to bring any sort of person to justice. But to kill our people as if we are helpless, we are not. By the time we turn in the... Eric Oshomole, I represent the people of Edo North. I do not intend to repeat any of the statements that have been made very eloquently by all of those who have spoken. And my point is not only informed by the fact that we were all contributors to the struggle against apartheid. I remember very well that it was because of the struggle against apartheid that a Nigerian president, then head of state, Murtala Mohammed, declared before the Americans that Henry Kissinger, who was Secretary of State, was not welcome to Nigeria. In the words of General Murtala Mohammed, he said the era of gunboat diplomacy was over. Nigeria's commitment to eradication of apartheid is not negotiable. And they proceeded to nationalize British petroleum because the British too were supporting apartheid. So I can understand the pain that where we have built relationship, today we are looked at as if we are a burden. But for me, sir, I didn't come to the Senate to lament what is not right. And I know that in diplomacy, there is the law of reciprocity. What are the issues in South Africa? The president of South Africa did campaign openly that foreigners were taking the jobs that South African people could do. That is why his hands and his legs are tied. What is my response? These Nigerians who are in South Africa, they are not there on holiday. They are there to work and to earn. And which kind of job are they doing? There are two categories. Many are traders. Others are doing maybe some high-skilled jobs. So my view is that it is time to reciprocate. This Senate should adopt a position that MTN, a South African company that is cutting away millions of dollars from Nigeria every day, that Nigeria nationalize it and withdraw its license, so that Nigerian company can take over the MTN business and recruit more people. Those coming from South Africa will find good jobs working with the company that will replace MTN. And I know that South African president has interest in MTN. The second is that we asked the Minister of Communication of the federal government to revoke the DSTV, which is also a South African company that is cutting away millions of dollars, even abusing, resorting to practices that will not even be accepted in South Africa. I don't want this Senate to be shedding tears, to sympathize with those who have died. We didn't come here to shed tears, and I'm not going to shed tears. If you hit me, I hit you. I think it is appropriate in diplomacy. It's an economic struggle. What the black South Africans are saying is that Nigerians are taking their jobs. Okay, Nigerians, come home. I take over the job of MTN. Nigerians, come home. I take over the job of DSTV. When we hit back, the president of South Africa will not only talk, he will go on his knees to recognize that Nigerians cannot be intimidated, and we do not condone any war life being lost. If a crime has been committed under South African law, they have a right to bring any sort of person to justice. But to kill our people as if we are helpless, we are not. By the time we turn in the economy hardship, we withdraw MTN license, we revoke DSTV license. Those people coming from Nigeria, from South Africa will have good jobs to do. Let South Africa continue with their jobs. Then when we have this balance of madness, I believe there will be sanity, and we will kick our bilateral relationship in a manner that is a win-win. Right now, Nigeria trade deficit with South Africa. South Africa is the one benefiting. So my colleagues, let's not turn this place to a place of mourning and crying and lamenting. Let us bite in a manner that they will be the one begging. I so hold and I persuade my colleagues that when we come to prayers, we should include these two prayers. That MTN license be withdrawn, that DSTV license be withdrawn. There are Nigerians who can provide those services, and they will employ those who are coming back home from South Africa. You bite me once, I bite you twice. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator Alero. This joint decision between the House of Representatives and the Senate to South African Parliament is very important. I would like to see South African Parliament debating this. I would like to see them debating this and questioning themselves. And then also either they applaud for their citizens or they condemn their citizens. That people will come to do legitimate business, even tourists to South Africa are being killed mistakenly as if they are going to work. You can imagine somebody, a surgeon from Nigeria, being lynched on the road by a mechanic in South Africa. And then his reason is that the surgeon is coming to take his work. And meanwhile, he's a mechanic. And the surgeon from Nigeria dies because he visited South Africa. So the issue goes beyond rhetorics. It goes beyond rhetorics. So I think it's something that we must, let's look at the prayers. If they are not enough, then we strengthen the prayers and then we take actions from there. So please, distinguished colleagues, let's not discuss too much on this. You have something to add? You have something to add?
Distinguished colleagues, my name is Senator Victor Ume, OFR, Nigerian Democratic Congress member. Mr. President, I rise to contribute to this very important motion brought by Senator Anyeke Atem through 4151 to this Senate. Mr. President, I was the first chairman of the Senate Committee on Diaspora and Foreign Affairs, and I handed over to Senator Anyeke Akpan. Mr. President, this is a very gory situation where Nigerians living in South Africa have over the years been disrespected, molested, annihilated, and hunted down. All their rights denied them. I was in South Africa in 2024. And I went to the Nigerian High Commission and interacted with the High Commissioner there. And I met Nigerian citizens who were invited for interaction with me. Mr. President, the stories they told about the type of hardship and the inhuman treatment they are subjected to was very grave and very worrisome. This is 2026. The xenophobic attacks on Nigerians in South Africa have continued. They are now hiding for their lives. They can come out and do their businesses freely and move around. Mr. President, this is a situation where people are paying good with evil. This country contributed immensely to the end of apartheid regime in South Africa. You recall fire in Soweto when they were being burnt down, South Africans, black South Africans. They were hiding in their holes. And Nigeria came out very strongly to stand with them as our brothers and our sisters. The government of General Ramat Murtala Mohammed, though a military regime, said that Africa shall be the center of Nigeria's foreign policy. And a lot of our resources were deployed to providing succor to the black South Africans. If we knew, or if Murtala Mohammed and sovereign governments knew that South Africa can stand up and begin to insult Nigerians, would have turned the other way. They won't have the liberty they have today. So for them to take Nigerians like animals is not acceptable. The African Union, which South Africa is a member, should rise now and impose all necessary sanctions against South Africa. Nigeria should also do reprisal sanctions against these people because they're also living in Nigeria. They enjoy the liberties, the freedom to live in another country. Because the white man developed South Africa, they now think that anybody who has come to South Africa is coming to enjoy. But when they were under the gruesome regime of apartheid, they had nobody to run to except Nigeria. So I want to say that this report from the committee chairman of Senate Committee on Diaspora should be taken very seriously. There are some who cannot even come back. They arrest them and seize their traveling documents and throw them into jails. Some are taken to the courts and they will be denied legal representation. These were the complaints I got in 2024. When they apprehend any Nigerian, they take him to court and deny him legal representation. Nobody will speak for you. And they throw the person in jail. So, my distinguished colleagues, South Africa should receive a warning from this Senate, this Parliament, and the government of Nigeria, so that they know that freedom of movement is guaranteed under the Charter of the African Union. We cannot continue this way at all. And these recent killings should be investigated. Nigeria would demand serious investigation in South Africa. It should not be going like this. Yes. Otherwise, we wait for them here. If we see them here, we'll tell that this country belongs to very civilized and strong people. We are not weak. We're not weak. We're not weak. I so submit. They should respect Nigerians in South Africa. No, please. I'm very angry about this. Don't tell me to submit. I'm very angry. If you go there, you see the inhuman treatment they're giving to Nigerians. Why should they do that?
Distinguished.
So, Mr. President, thank you.
Distinguished, everybody feels the pain.
Out of my...
We feel your pain,
my
so
pain.
Don't...
because I saw these things when I went there.
No, don't worry, Senator
Nigerians
Magudu.
should be hiding in
Senator
South Africa.
Magudu, go ahead. It's not a discussion of one day.
Thank you.
Thank you. Senator Magudu.
Mr. President, thank you for the opportunity. My name is Oji Uzokalo. I represent Abia North. I would like to move a simple motion because all parties speaking are saying the same thing. I'd like to just move a simple motion to commute this thing to Committee on Foreign Affairs and what's the next committee? Diaspora. And one other relevant committee, so that they'll be able to study and come back to us in 2 weeks. So, and the national security and intelligence. Let us not, excuse me, gentlemen, listen. Let us not kill our relationship. We are very angry. Nobody is happy. Our Minister of Foreign Affairs is in South Africa now, and the ministry invited the High Commissioner yesterday, and you have invited the High Commissioner. Let senators, not because of seeing them, within anything you say immediately, but not because people want to be seen in the television to speak about this thing. No, let us quickly set up these committees and come back to the Senate. So if it means a day, if for 8 hours, if it means a day, everybody in this Senate will speak. You give the 109 senators, including you, the opportunity to speak. That would be nice. Because wasting our time and going back to taking the something. Yes, nobody's deviating from the Constitution. We are asking you to do it right. You must do it right. You cannot just do it the way you want to do it. Mr. President, I move a motion that we will ask our committee to give us a working paper. I so move.
Repatriating billions of dollars in profit every year. While Nigerians in South Africa are treated as economic parasites and targeted in the street, the lawmakers are moving from the traditional talking and they are now asking fundamental questions. Why should Nigerians protect the profits of a nation that refuses to protect the lives of Nigerians? To them, they need to do what it takes to safeguard their people. This isn't just about punishment, it is about survival. As the Nigerian government begins the voluntary evacuation of hundreds of its citizens from South Africa, the question of their future is urgent. So the proposal on the floor is to use the nationalization of these South African businesses to create something for these people that will be coming back into Nigeria. The plan is to ensure that the Nigerians being sacked and forced to leave South Africa find their jobs waiting for them in their very companies that is used to send their profit to Pretoria. This is not what we are looking for right now as Africans, because we think that this is a time for us all to be uniting. But it's like what is happening in South Africa is heartbreaking. When you look at what our brothers and sisters are doing to us without considering nothing, it's painful. And I don't understand the reason to which these people have the notion that it is their brothers and sisters who are in South Africa that are causing them pain. And what we don't want is what is happening. If finally the Nigerian government should also buy into this narrative and decide to cut the companies of Nigeria, at the end of the day, the people who even caused this are not the ones that are going to suffer, because these people have nothing. One of these people who are leading this operation, the Dula, said he needs 5 million so that he can mobilize people to protect the border for about 3 months. And that 5 million is just for food. just for food. You see, at the end of the day, you can tell that the people who are pushing for this agenda are people who actually are looking for something out of it, and not that they are doing it with a genuine heart. And they don't understand nothing when it comes to whatever that they are going through, because we expect that South Africans will not understand the pain that they are going through and know what is actually the problem and tackle the problem. But chasing after your black brothers and sisters, like US Malema asked, if finally they leave, will it create the jobs you want? Will it give you the better education, the better hospitals, the better everything that you are looking for? Because some of them are having this math, I don't know where they had it from, talking about if they should strike the GDP, the amount of money South Africa have, everybody is going to be getting 1 million in a year. Like, so because of this notion they have in their heads, they continue to be doing this without knowing what is actually happening. It's painful, but we don't want ourselves to be fighting among ourselves. But I don't also like the way Cyril Ramaphosa is handling this issue, because if these people are not brought to book and they still have the right, the power to be going around doing this as if the police in South Africa do not know what to do, it's not fair. We are the only ones that can set ourselves free. United we stand, divided we fall, and united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we make Africa great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world, in Africa, West Africa, and in Nigeria.